Good morning. Welcome to the Wise One channel. I'm your host, Lady Caren. Drinking coffee with pumpkin spice latte seasoning in it. Sweetened with brown sugar, vanilla, caramel, affordable vanilla crema. It is Friday. And I don't wanna. I got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm stupid. It's going to be a very exhausting day. Very long day. Very exhausting day. And we are in that full moon that is coming and going. Full moon is going. I hope you guys all enjoyed your full moon. I find that entertaining. I was doing stuff. I was busy. I was being active. I was playing video games. I need to get up and do that, actually. Going to Sarah Beck, Savannah, and Anna Franklin. Phone. Yes. I'll skip it to me. Ooh, we got a reversed thing. Morning. And I've been up for 2 hours, so that means I just need to get my day going. I'm not even dressed. Intuition for 16. What's this? It's horribly done. Okay. Intuition number 16. Red first. Cold. I'm just needing comfort. Fine. 16. No, that's fine. Close. 17. So that means right behind it is the reversed meaning. When the initiation card appears reversed in your spread, it indicates that you lack balance. You are trying to fill your life with activities to disguise the fact that something fundamentally is missing. Any knowledge you gain is only superficial because you are butterfly and cannot settle on one thing for too long, or for one thing long enough to make any real progress with it. Take heed of the lessons of the woodpecker. Woodpecker is a forest spirit, wise in the ways of the wood. It knows the ways of the animals and plants and their habits at all times of the year. Woodpecker is the guide to the tutorial world. He is often familiar with the herbalist, leading the way to plants and heal both the body and the spirit. Woodpecker is particularly helpful in discerning the emotional causes of illness, each the anger that is often the seed of arthritis, negativity that is the root of cancer, and so on. and discovering the methods of dealing with these. The spirit of the body are connected, and disease in one. That's how do I just spell disease? In one manifest in will manifest in the other. Woodpecker makes a good visualization tool for releasing pain and negativity. That's probably not very wrong. I do bounce around and around and around. I noticed that I'm onto something, and so my mind is just taken on to distraction. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do, and I decide on it. And we went to the library. I did all the things that I've learned that I don't want to do. I checked out a book. I stick a book that intrigues me, and I'm like, let's read this. Sorceress of the Crown by Zen Zhao. Chao. Chantal. Oh, she's adorable. Check her out. Check out her picture. She was born and raised in Malaysia and currently lives in London. She is a journalist for John W. Campbell Award for Best New York Writer and a nominee for the Pushcart Prize. And her short story collection, Spirits Abroad, was a joint writing with William L. Crawford. Fantasy Award, Sorceress to the Crown is her first novel. Visit her online at zengao.org and at twitter.com and twitter.com ZENALDEHYDE. But is it? So I totally, yeah. I'm like, no, I should be focusing on my work, trying to make money. I wonder why I don't have money. All right, those around me have more money than I do. And I should. I'm glad that they do. Then they can take care of themselves. Question is, am I going to make it through? Probably not. But I'll try. So yes, I need to sit my rear end down and do what I decide to do and not let those distractions distract me. Learn for myself, though, how to be disciplined. Okay, it's adorableness that my youngest has. We want to light on. Just like old daddy. I've been awake since like 3 something. 1:30. It's that full moon. It was. Don't put that on with the microphone. Okay, so what else? Okay, that's still pretty bright. Everything feels very like during the day. I had more ideas about what I was going to talk to. I was going through like a dress rehearsal or like a type of check this out, or how I would do this video all up until because I had it all sorted. I was going to start by on the hour, and are at a loss and just thinking about the subjects and stuff that I would do until after it was gone. And I like finished clicking buttons, and here I am. I have to wonder, like, what that's for. Why does it do that way? And then why is it different when I come on here and click the button, and why it's what I talk about is it's not always what I was thinking about, because I hadn't thought of, stuck in my head how if you have a great distraction from ADHD, how it's designed to work. Again, the lecture on Wonder Room, creativity of your brain. I'm still loving that lecture. Um, the opera singer who's got PhDs. Like, yes, that is the way life should be across the board. And knowing things and being able to talk about things. Uh, I've learned that I just love opera singers. I don't know if I've ever yet put into the opera I come towards, because someday though, the opportunity presents itself. But yeah, my focus right now is making sure my shit is done, or that my. I was not gonna guess. Can I go back and do that? Don't guess, because it's bad. They're gonna kick me off YouTube. This is why nobody listens to my algorithm. I don't think they care. I think they're like, oh, she'll just do whatever she does. But yeah, so what a distraction is for when you have ADHD. It means that your problem is too big for you. The way you're looking at just the problem. And if you indirectly look at something, that's what the distraction is for. That is why you think about popsicles. Yeah. When somebody's talking about how they, broke up with so and so. Yeah, they're trying to figure out something. The thing is, if you directly look at it, it's only the part that you don't like. There's more to it. I had other descriptions to describe, the whole thing. But if you look at it and you're upset and you're tense and you're in fight or flight mode, you're not going to come up with the answers. You're just going to down a spiral. If you come from a very safe, healthy state of mind, and you could look at the whole picture, or you could look at something else so that you're indirectly considering your problem instead of pouring your whole forethought thoughts into it, or your primary upfront thoughts. If you look at that and do it that way, the solution can become clear. That the way you want to handle it can become clear. Letting it out to somebody else, especially somebody who's ADHD, because they're creative and they're problem solving, or they help you help yourself problem solve. Yeah, those are the things that, that's what it's for. That's what it's designed. That's why us, do it. Just because the solution comes up better, it's easier, it's healthier, more of a solution. more efficient solution presents itself when we are indirectly looking at something. Nobody's commenting, so I don't need to read anything. And these are the things that we need to learn to hone that natural talent into a skill. So talented as we are to come up with solutions and think of ideas and to do things, but to problem solve big problems, sometimes we need to indirectly look at it. That's why, I mean, if you've ever seen, for example, those videos of the dads that have super fast reflexes and they save the kid from falling off the couch or getting hit or falling off the swing or, and those types of things. I looked up how to get super fast reflexes or how to increase my reflexes. And I talked about looking like widening your uh, peripherals. That's what I'm looking for. And if you widen your peripherals, you'll see the big picture and you'll start having faster reflexes because you'll see it. You'll see the pattern coming. And that's, you know, what it means to have ADHD is that we're distracted so that if we're not looking at it directly, we can feel more comfortable looking at it. The healthy way is to become more comfortable, to be around that problem, that situation, that issue, so that we can, from a healthy viewpoint, see the bigger picture. Because it's not just like that situation occurred out of nowhere. It's not like the whole situation, not like that part of that situation that bothers us to no ends just poofed into existence. There's more to it. There's a whole complex situation. There's a whole event, a whole experience. And understanding ourselves, why would we do something that's the other person's behavior that bothers us? Does it? Why wait? They do something that bothers us to do, and what would make it where we would be the one doing it? Where would we think our situation calls it acceptable? Why we wouldn't do that unless something pissed us off. We wouldn't be. That's not already that. I wouldn't ever do that. And they find that they do it themselves because they feel like they have to defend themselves. They feel like the whole world is against them. And you have no responsibility whatsoever to fix somebody else's problems, especially when it comes to your children. All you have to do is provide the environment for them to help themselves. Provide them the keys. Doing things for your kids seems to do the opposite for them. They turn off the "I'll do it" and they turn on the "oh, somebody else has to do it." It's no longer I can't do that because somebody else has to do it kind of thing. Or here's an example. Giving them an example is slightly different than doing it for them. Showing them this is the way to do it. This is the way I do it. This is, how would you like to do it on this turn? Uh, Though my youngest did not benefit from examples when I gave her examples of the books. She wanted to do it all. In which My best teaching comes from here. Let me give you an example. Her first learning is I want to do it all myself. So it's been fun learning, her learning, and my teaching, and finding that connection. That's the essential part of teaching, is that connection, because the kids do all the learning. We could teach it till our blood runs dry, and show and tell, and we can present, and we can, but it's not for them unless they want it and they connect with you. You can lead a horse to water, but they're not going to drink unless they want to drink. So as long as you forever have the current flow of available environment for them to thrive in, for them to do it for themselves, for them to solve their problems, for them to, and for the autistic, to form a few more connections and associations, because sometimes you sit there. So you've wrote the letter DID. You've wrote a letter D, you've wrote a letter I, and you've wrote a letter D. And we just read in that book that is the word did. Does it mean that DID applies for did in another book? No, apparently not. Building association. Sometimes you can assign a certain association for a thing, and that's the only association that it has. So that could occur. But yet, there are things where they just read a whole sentence that you're just like, oh, you're like, how do you not get this one, but you get that one? That's okay. That's their natural. That's their normal. That's okay. You just give them a new association. Give them a presentation for them to build more associations with did. You know, oh, the d, d the sounding it out. This is where we can also sound it out, not just writing it. You know, build more associations, build bigger pictures, get more pattern recognition, get that. Yeah, it's okay. It feels like you're doing it for them. But honestly, it's not so much as building that connection with them when you're doing the stuff. They parrot, and then you help them build. It's not doing an example of it so that they can parrot it, and then building an association to where that parroted action belongs. And then an intuitive, holistic child may not need you to spell it out for them. They may just get the did, and then every did is a did. Eventually, did all the time, no matter what. And that's normal, and that's fine, and that's great. That is for them, and when they light up those eyes of learning, that's fun. That's a lot of fun. So, if you present the path of least resistance, they learn at a nice, wonderful, accelerated rates. They're like, if I don't give them hardship, they'll never learn. The fun part is if you show them what you do with your hardship, because you're going to have a translation of hardship in adulthood. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Show them what you're doing, or connect with them about your own heart. Don't tell them like, oh no, I can't pay the bills and that we won't have anything. That's a little much for them to learn. But oh, I'm having a difficulty with certain things, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask for help, or I'm going to, and give them examples of things that you do with your hardship. They don't have to know what the hardship is, just know that you're going through hardship, or that going th- you're applying a certain method to your difficulties. Put it that. And they're smart. And it doesn't take as long for them as it takes for us. That's yeah, I miss that. As a kid, we didn't have a thing where we tried the same thing and came up to a hard spot. We were growing up when we were younger, as we did when we got older. We did the same application where we jumped, and then one day jumping hurt, and so jumping without looking, just not something that we do anymore, and so we don't get the high risk reward as quickly as when we did it without the memory of pain with jumping. You know. So yeah, I thought about a lot of that stuff for like 10-20 minutes. But coming from a grounded spot makes things a lot easier. So, as much as I tell you how to do this with an autistic, how to do this with an autistic, take it with a grain of salt, because as many different ways to do it as there are many different autistic and allistic people. You can try it that way, as long as you feel that it is a safe, wonderful way to do it. You may have a traumatized person where that is a whole bunch of triggers. In which case, I don't recommend doing it. But yeah, I sat there this morning when I got up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I considered, where am I doing more? Where am I doing less? Where's that executive function happening? And where am I needing rest spots? Where am I needing to go full throttle and get stuff done? Getting anything done. So I'm not the only one though. And that's the interesting part, is that you meet so many more people all over the place that do things differently, and how much is socially, and how much is genetically, and how much is culturally, and how much just you do it because intuitively it makes sense. God, this is a warp deck, and this is for others. Like it, and that's why. That was with you. So she could have let, could have let different blanket. But yeah, it is super soft. But yeah, I, for the longest time, did not understand my kid's materialistic um, preference, why they wanted materialistic stuff. But now I know that it's an autistic trait on some parts of the spectrum. To see the physical makes up the association for the real thing. It shows an accumulation of experience. It makes for a complete pattern, where they can see it, touch it, feel it. That took me a while to learn. Things that I don't like. If you sit there with the things that you don't like and the things that you do like, you learn more about you. Definitely have a different experience. learn to stay healthy. Help the executive function. The trauma responses, the more that I feel safe, feel healthy, my needs are going to be provided for, the needs of my children are going to be provided for, the more I can do, the more comfortable I am to do things. And that, that says a lot. That does a lot. So I make sure that I have all the vitamins, minerals, that I'm warm enough. And just, I work at the comfort. Like the stretching and the exercise makes it so that I'm more comfortable in my body. The type of discipline that I'm learning. It's just the wisdom. So I really hear the call to write a wisdom book, a book of wisdom, a book of wisdom that shows like all the things written down that I know that my kids could learn from, that may have no reason for things later, but then it'll come again. Learning, the things that I learning the things that I like for my kids, that's ever they need to know something or ever they need help with something and I'm not there, that they could do things. So I sit there and I look at, well, how do you do this that is from like way back then? Because it's the most affordable way to be environmentally friendly and get the things that we need and get our needs met. Type of technology that simply just meets our needs. Yeah, I'm totally awake. Things I got to get done. So yeah, executive function. Thinking financially, how I might just split, because we have family members that are asking for money, and that shouldn't be a problem. But the thing is, it's currently we haven't had money, but then when we have enough money, I don't want it to. I want it to be healthy. So I was thinking about making just an account that if somebody borrows money, that's the account that we can send them money from, and I know it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it should, that way. That's all set aside for people to borrow. And if they pay back, it goes back into that account. And if they don't pay back, then he's that's his policy. He knows from certain people that he's not going to send money back. So it's not what we're going to have. But we're not the only ones that go through tough times. So yeah. Gotcha. Trying to think what to do for Christmas, for everybody's Christmas present. Yeah. Going to have to do something super easy and affordable and thoughtful this year. pictures. That's all I can think of is pictures. Because you can do the super cheap pictures where you print them out at the store photo place and like the happy holidays, and you just mail them out to everybody. And like cookies for the mainland and the rest of the family. Then I can work on a book of like poetry said to people, and I don't know, for next year. I'm gonna write like corny holiday cheer poetry. That would be. I have that as well as deep thoughtful poetry and all sorts of other things as a writer. That's I can do that kind of stuff. Free readings. I do free readings. Those are always personalized. I can do personalized arts and crafts. But the thing is, can I do personalized arts and crafts that easy? Oh. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not for bubbleheads. That was probably very disturbing. Uh, but I sit there and I'm thinking about stuff for people, and yeah, I gotta go take care of this dry skin from fall. The moisture there is going. I'm ready to fall asleep. I gotta get up and get things done. And this is normal, and I really don't normally see this because it's not very charismatic, it's not very cinematic, and it's not very. But you go through it. That's what you look like. That's how human you look. Human doesn't look as pretty as it looks in the movies. Thought about the books. Like people don't go to the bathroom in the books and in the movies. I mean, they're not really characters aren't really real because don't go to the bathroom very often. But they're also to think about. If you ever come upon these videos, this archive of just me just thinking and talking, your morning, just to have a voice in your ear while you're working or driving or going through your morning. Hopefully, it's less annoying to you than it is to me to listen to my own voice. Hopefully. But yeah. Thank you for watching. And love you. Hope you have a good one until next we meet. So much to do. Have a good one.